Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today I've got a super special video coming your way. Today I'll be creating a hypothetical team for Ash Ketchum if he were to travel to the Paldea region and be a part of the Pokemon Horizons anime. But before I get started with that, I want to thank you guys so much for 20,000 subscribers. I am so thankful for all of you, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. Shout out to you guys for real. Alright, so one quick disclaimer for this video. This video will hypothetically put modern Ash right in Liko and Roy's role in the anime. Alright, with that being said, drop a like and let's make this team for the reigning world champion Ash. So since the X and Y anime, Ash has fully evolved all of his non-Pikachu Pokemon, well, with the exception of Rowlet, but that of course was just to give the rest of the Alola region a chance. So this team will be all full final evolutions except for an honorable mention. Oh, and speaking of, let's begin with a few honorable mentions. Now, Ash hasn't used more than 6 Pokemon for a single region in over a decade, but if for whatever reason he wanted to catch more than 6, I could see any of these guys being in the rotation. First up is Fuecoco. This Pokemon would basically be Rowlet 2.0. You know, where he stays in his base form but is still powerful, but mostly there for cute comedic relief. And for merchandise reasons. I honestly don't think any of the starter Pokemon seem like the kind Ash would use, but of all of them, I guess Fuecoco would work best. Next up is Lokix. This just seems like an Ash Ketchum Pokemon to me. Plus, there was this really cool picture of a more mature Ash using one that I really liked. Also, whenever Ash uses a Bug-type Pokemon, they almost always seem to become fan favorites. The next two here are just wildcard picks. First up is Walking Wake. Suicune is iconic and Ash has interacted with him plenty of times over the years, so seeing Ash get to use an ancient form of one would be really cool to see. And the final honorable mention is Annihilate. Of all of Ash Ketchum's Pokemon, the one single one he didn't come back for is Primeape. I mean, he even got to reunite with Pidgeot before his retirement. So yeah, this is depressing for all of us Primeape fans. And the only way to make it up to us is by having him come back and evolving him into this beast. Alright, well that's enough for the honorable mention section. Let's get down to the real team. Now we're gonna start off with a bang here. The first member of Ash's team would be Pikachu. Duh! Alright, for real though. Ash's first real capture would be Armor Rogue. Yes, this Pokemon just screams Ash Ketchum to me. He's definitely one of the more popular Pokemon introduced in the Scarlet and Violet games, plus I could see Ash catching a Charcadet early on in the series. And we could even have a solid little rivalry between Ash's Armor Rogue and a Mathio's Ceruledge. You know, similar to what we got between Ash's and Gladion's Lycanrocs in the Sun and Moon series. It would be awesome to see Ash finally fully own a Psychic-type Pokemon, because he's never really had one, unless you count Mr. Mime or Solgaleo, but this would be the first real Psychic Ash Pokemon that isn't in that gray area of ownership. The next Pokemon that will be on Ash's hypothetical team is Goldango. I mean, come on, he's literally the 1000th Pokemon, and I could totally see Ash come across a Gimmighoul during his travels throughout Paldea, and I don't think he would catch one right away, but he could run into it another time later on. Kinda like how in the games we see all those little Gimmighouls throughout the region of Paldea. The only problem I see with this Pokemon though, is that it evolves in a really weird way. That of course being how you have to collect all those Gimmighoul coins. But I don't know, maybe Ash could win a bag of them in a contest or a battle or something? Yeah, I really don't know why, but Pokemon has recently fallen in love with these weird evolution methods. But it obviously hasn't stopped Ash before. Next up is another fan favorite, Palafin. Again, this Pokemon just screams Ash Ketchum to me. He's literally a superhero, just like Ash. Honestly, I could see a plotline similar to the one we got with Ash's Charizard in the original series. Ash could catch a troubled and maybe arrogant Palafin who could be causing trouble in like a city or the ocean or something. Then Ash tries to use him, but he wouldn't end up listening, and Ash could even have some trouble learning to use Palafin's Zero to Hero ability. But you guys know Ash. After a while, Palafin would come around to listening to Ash after he proves himself worthy and a caring trainer. Now, I think this Palafin could possibly be Ash's regional ace of the series. The only thing that would be kinda weird is that Palafin is sort of a water-based Pokemon who would maybe struggle to do battles on land, especially in a Zero mode. I still definitely think it would be a great fit for Ash's team. Alright, now the next two picks go hand in hand together. If you guys remember back to the Sun and Moon series, the writing staff had Ash capture the new subcategory Pokemon introduced in that generation. That of course being Naganadel, the Ultra Beast. So I could see it happening again here with Paradox Pokemon. But we're not just gonna give him one, oh no. We're giving Ash 2 Paradox Pokemon. One from the past, and one from the future. You know, just so we're not being timist. Alrighty then, let's start with the past Paradox Pokemon, shall we? Now there's a fair amount of good options for Ash from the past here. Like I said earlier, Walking Wake would be cool, But I could also see him possibly capturing a Slitherwing, or maybe even a Fluttermane. But nah, I'm giving my boy Ashy a Roaring Moon. How sick would it be to see Ash flying around on one of these things? I don't know, this just seems like peak fiction to me. Now, we already know Ash has recently had a thing for using pseudo-legendary dragons. And you know, he never got the chance to use the Salamence, so why not give him Salamance's cooler version? I feel like this would definitely be a late series capture, and would probably not get a ton of development, but honestly, I don't think he would need it. I mean, he wouldn't have to evolve, which is kind of a big plus. I don't know, maybe he could be like a Snorlax, just a one-stage powerhouse. If this anime really were to happen, I definitely see Ash capturing one in Area 0. And now, to the future we go for our final pick for Ash's Paldean Pokemon team. Again, a lot of good Future Paradox Pokemon choices here. I could see Ash using any of them, except for maybe Iron Thorns, who just straight up sucks. But to give Ash a capture on the same level as a Pokemon like Roaring Moon, we're gonna have to give him Iron Valiant. But there's gonna be something special about this Iron Valiant. He's gonna take a page out of Noctowl's book, and this one will be shiny. Yes, look at this guy. This guy is a Sith Lord. He's basically the Darth Maul of Pokemon. Young me would go crazy watching Ash capture a Pokemon like this. His story and development would likely be on the same level of the Roaring Moon selection. Nothing too crazy, maybe just like a boss battle in Area 0, but he would just be epic and an OP Pokemon to an OP team. Plus, Iron Valiant is a perfect combination of both Gardevoir and Gallade, which are two obviously very well-liked Pokemon that Ash never got the opportunity to use throughout his travels. In my opinion, Iron Valiant is one of the best designed Pokemon we've ever seen in the entire Pokemon franchise, and I think it's one that Ash Ketchum would definitely use. Now, looking at this team, it's quite evident it would undoubtedly be one of his strongest and most awesome teams ever. And based on his last few generations, I don't think this team's all that surfetched. This team is definitely a combination of some of the most beloved Pokemon introduced in the Scarlet and Violet games. This team would honestly somehow be an even more powerful upgrade compared to his Journeys team. Well, without all the gimmicks. Oh, and speaking of, these guys would all terrestrialize into a bunch of different and cool types that would likely change throughout the hypothetical series. But that's a topic for a completely separate video maybe I'll get to in the future. Overall, I really like this team for Ash and wish he could have gotten the chance to use it. Who knows though, maybe he can. Maybe Liko and Roy could run into Ash in a random episode in the Horizon series. And you know, he could just have this team on hand or something. Man, that'd be really cool to see, especially if he was a little bit older too. Well guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. You gotta let me know what you think of this team though in the comment section below. If you agree with my choices, that's awesome. But if not, comment what changes you would like to see made to this team. Thank you so much for watching guys, and thank you again for 20,000 subscribers. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next one. Love you guys.